Welcome back. Domain tree architecture and design. If you guys missed my domain 1, the previous video, domain 1, domain 2, so you guys can check. There is a practice labs, and then uh, there's a useful information, the piece of information you can find in domain 2 or domain 1. So this video we're going to see part 3.1, so domain tree part 1. So explain use case and purpose for framework, best practice and secure configuration guide. So normally the security plus exam will test your understanding of the architecture and design of an IT environment and its related security. So to pass the test and be effective in implementing security, you need to understand the basic concept and terminology related to network security designs and architecture as detailed in this chapter. So security is a complicated. This task of design and implementing security can be so daunting that many organizations may put it off until it's too late and they have experienced a scenario intrusions or violation. A means to simplify the process, or at least to get started, is to adapt predefined guidance and recommendations from trusted entities. So there are many government, open source, commercial security framework or best practice on secure configuration guide that can be used as both a starting point and goalpost for security program for large and small organization. So industry standard framework and reference architecture. There is a three-part here. So industry standard framework and reference architecture, and then benchmark secure configuration guides and defense in depth layered security. We're gonna see one by one. So the first one is the industry standard frameworks and reference architecture. So a security framework is a guide or plan for keeping your organization's assets safe. It provides structure to implementations of security for both new organizations and those with a long history. A security framework should provide perspective that security is not just an IT concern but an important business operational function. A well-designed security framework should address personal issues, network security, portable and mobile equipment, operating system, applications, servers and endpoint device, network service, business processes, user tasks, communications and data storage. Industry standard framework are those that are adapted and respected by a majority of organizations within a specific line of business. A reference architectures may accompany a security framework. Often a reference architecture is detailed descriptions of fictitious organizations and how security could be implemented. So this concept serves as a guide for a real world organization to use as template to follow for adapting and implementing a framework. So here you can see the three major parts: regulatory versus non-regulatory. So regulatory security framework is a security guidance established by a government, regulations or law. Regulatory frameworks are thus crafted or sponsored by government agencies. However, this doesn't necessarily limit their use to government entities. Many regulatory frameworks are publicly available and thus can be adapted and applied to private organizations as well. A security framework doesn't have to be designed specifically for an organization, nor does an entire framework need to be implemented. Each organization is unique, and there should be several frameworks to assemble a solution that address their specific security needs. Non-regulatory. A non-regulatory security framework is any security guidance crafted by a non-government entity. So these would include open source communications as well as commercial entities. Non-regulatory framework may require a license fee or subscription fee in order to view and access the details of the framework. Some commercial entities will even provide customized implementations, guidance or compliance auditing. National versus internationals. A national security framework is any security guidance designed specifically for use within a particular country. The author of national framework may attempt to restrict access to the details of their framework in order to control or limit implementation to just the local industries. National frameworks also may include country-specific limitations, requirement, utilities, or other concerns that are not applicable to any or more other countries. Such national nuances may also serve as a limiting factor for the use of such a framework in other lands. International security framework are designed on purpose to be nation independent. These are crafted with the goal of avoiding any country specific limitations or idiosyncrasies in order to support worldwide adoptions of the framework. Compliance with the international security framework simply the interaction between organizations located across national border by ensuring they have compatible and equivalent security protections. Third one, industry specific framework. Industry specific frameworks are those crafted to be applicable to one specific industry such as banking, healthcare, insurance, uh, energy management, transportations, or retail. So these type of frameworks are tuned to address the most common issues within an industry and may not be as easily applicable to organization outside of the target. So then you can also see the industry standard frameworks. There's a lot of important industry standards. So International Organization for Standardized, ISO, or National Institute of Standard and Technology, payment card, industry data security standards, North America, electric reliabilities corporations, Center for Internet Security, so open web applications, WASP. So these all are very important uh, the standard frameworks, so industry standard framework. So most of them they're using that. So ISO standards, you can also see that there's a versions also. You can see the 2013 they released, the 2013 they released the ISO IEC 27002. So what purpose, why they release? So you can also find more information by searching in Google. So ISO, let's say for example, so ISO 27001 2013 is a specific the requirement for establishing, implementing, maintaining, and continually improving on our information security management systems within the context of the organizations. It also includes requirement for the assessment and treatment of information security risk tailored to needs of the organizations. So the requirements set out ISO IEC 27001 colon 2013 are generic and are intended to be applicable to all organizations regardless of type, size, or nature. So you can find here the information in the website. So ISO 27002 and 2013 the version. So it gives a guideline for organization information security standards and information security management practice, include the selections, implementations, and management of control, taking into consideration the organization information security risk environments. So you can see the important what purpose they release the versions and why the certificate is needed for the organization to secure your data. So you can find that one by one select control with the process implementing information. So you can find more information about this in the link. So ISO 27002 2013 best practice and topic areas. So here the information security policy, there's a list of the best practice. So this is very useful piece of information. So ISO IES 27017 and 2015. So this is one of the very important. So it gives guidelines for information security control applicable to the provision and use of cloud service by providing additional implementations guidance for relevant control specific additional controls with the implementation guidance that's specifically related to cloud service. So recommendations to international standard provides controls and implementation guidance for both cloud service provider, cloud service customers. So you can find more information here. So about the certifications. So NIST is a National Institute of Standard and Technology. Is a US based US national standards. The Computer Security Resource Centers provides. So NIST, cybersecurity is information security related projects, publications and news events. The NIST, you can see the NIST framework: identify, protect, detect and response and recover. This is a flow how the NIST frameworks works. So NIST special publications 800 series. So this one, the publications in NIST special the special publications 800 series presents information of interest to the computer security community. So the series comprises guidelines, recommendations, technology specifications and annual report of NIST cybersecurity activities. So SP is, the special publication 800 are developed to address and support the security and privacy needs to US federal government informations and information system. So NIST develops SP 800 series publications in accordance with its statutory responsibility under the Federal Information Security Moderation Act, FISMA of 2014. So there is a law. You can Google it that more information. So it created in 1990 the series report on the technology, on the information technology laboratory research guidelines and outreach efforts in computer security. It collaborative activity with the industry, government and academic organizations. So there is a series out there. So this is also a piece of information, so you can Google it if you want, if you need more information about this. So payment card industry data security standard. So used by Visa as MasterCard, American Express and Discover to create common security control for protections for cardholder data. Any organizations processing credit cards must be compliant. So level of compliance difference. So the PCI DSS control objective is very clear. Is a build and maintains a secure network, protect cardholder data and maintain vulnerability management, implementing strong access control measure, regularly monitor and test networks, maintain an information security policy. So this is objective, PCI DSS control objective. So this is a well prepared, very useful information. So then benchmarks secure configurations guides. So benchmarks typically determine how much of load a system, device or server can handle by comparing two or more system or components of a system. The most common use of a benchmark is to measure performance. Okay, applying the concept to security is the principle behind security benchmarks and secure configuration guides. So perhaps the most widely used resource for benchmark is the Center of Internet Security, meaning CIS. CIS is the main provider of more than 100 configurations guide and comprehensive checklist for various platforms that help organizations mitigate security vulnerabilities. The benchmark and guide prove useful because they include desirable character. For example, they are based on use case in which security is paramount and they take technology performance into consideration. CIS benchmark and secure configuration guides are based on international best practice and are commanded by industry vendor and governing bodies. So DoD is a security technology. This is also important one that contain technical guides to log law information software that might others to be vulnerable to malicious computer attacks. You can see there are several excellent online resources to see specific example of OS applications hardware security configuration guides. So here too you can find the link in the bottom of the screen. So let's go for next. So benchmark secure configurations guide. There is a platform vendor specific. So two types. It is a there's a two types of platform vendor specific guides, and then the two topics. The second one is a general purpose guides. So we're going to see that first the platform vendor specific guides. So security configuration guides are often quite specific to an operating system, platform, applications, or product vendor. These type of guides can be quite helpful in securing a product, since they may provide step-by-step, click-by-click, command-by-command instructions on securing a specific applications, OS, and hardware product. So the network is Cisco. The brand name is Cisco. So network infrastructure device. A benchmark and security configuration guides can focus on specific network infrastructure device such as firewall, switches, routers, wireless access points, VPN concentrators, web security gateways, virtual machines, hyperversions, or proxy. So web server is it guides the benchmark and security configuration. It guides can focus on specific web server products such as Microsoft Internet Information Servers or Apache's web server. So and then operating system. So it guides can focus on specific application servers such as domain name, DNS, or DHCP database, network area storage, NAS, storage area network, SAN, directory service, and virtual VPN, virtual private network VPN, or voice over internet protocol VoIP. So there's a multiple OS is supported. So and then so these all are under the platform of vendor specific guides. And then the second one is a general purpose guides. Is a general purpose security configuration guides are most generic in their recommendations rather than being focused on single software or hardware product. So this makes them useful in a wide range of situations, but they provide less detail and instructions on exactly how to accomplish the recommendations. A product focused guide might provide hundreds of steps of configurations a native firewall, whereas a general purpose guide may provide only a few dozens general recommendations. So this type of guide leaves the specific action to accomplish the recommendations up to the system manager to determine how to accomplish the goal or implement these suggestions. So that's it for benchmark or secure configurations. So we go into the last one. So defense in depth or layered security. So here defense in depth is the use of multiple types of access control in literal or theoretical concentric circle or layer. So this form of layered security helps an organization avoid a monolithic security stance. A monolithic mentality is the belief that a single security mechanism is all that is required to provide sufficient security. Only through the intelligence combinations of countermeasures can be constructed a defense that will resist significant and persistent attempt at compromise. Intruder or attacker would need to overcome multiple layers of defense to reach the protected asset. As with any security solutions relying on single security mechanisms in unwise, defense in depth, multi-layer security, or diversity of defense use multiple types of access control in literal or theoretical concentric circles or layers. By having security control redundancy and diversity, an environment can avoid the pitfalls of a single security feature fallings. The environment has several opportunity to deflect, deny, detect, and deter any threat. Of course, no security mechanism is perfect. So each individual security mechanism has a flaw or workaround just waiting to be discovered and abused by a hacker. So using the physical device router switch or virtual local area networks or air gaps. So you can also see that the frame on the right bottom side. So device, applications, computer network, physicals are layer by layer. Is a control diversity, as I said before, so addressing a security concern using multiple controls don't depends on another. Is administrative and process technical. So administrator means is administrative control typically includes security policy as well as a mechanism for managing people and overseeing business process. It is important to ensure a diversity of administrative controls rather than relying on a single layer or single type of security mechanism. And the technical controls includes any logical or technical mechanisms used to provide security to an IT infrastructure. Technical security controls need to be broad and varied in order to provide a robust wall of protecting against intrusion and exploit attempts. Single defense, whether a single layer or repetitions of the same defense can fall to a singular attack. So diverse and multi-layered defense requires a more complex attack approach requiring numerous exploitation to be used in series successfully without deductions in order to compromise the target. So the concept of the attack with a series of exploit is known as daisy chaining. So vendor diversity is addressing a security concern, meaning vendor diversity is important for establishing defense in depth in order to avoid security vulnerability due to one vendor design architecture and philosophy of security. So no one vendor can provide a complete end-to-end security solution that protect against all known and unknown exploitations and intrusion. Thus, to improve the security stance of organization, it is important to integrate security mechanism from variety of vendors, manufacturers, and programmers. So then last one is a user training. User training is always a key part of any security endeavor. Users need to be trained in how to perform their work tasks in accordance with the limitations and restrictions of the security infrastructure. Users need to understand, believe in, and support the security effort of the organizations. Otherwise, user will by default cause problem with compliance, causes a reductions in productivity, and may causes accidental or intentional security control sabotage. So that's it. So let's go for exam preparation. So this standard gives guidelines for information security control applicable to provisions and use of cloud service. Answer. So answer is ISO IEC 27017:215. Answer is C. Second one, according to the CompTIA Security Plus blueprint, which of the following is not a consideration for defense in depth or layer security? Answer. Answer is B, security benchmark. So that's it, guys, for this video. So we will see more topic on later on videos. So please subscribe my channel, press the bell button if you like, share the video if you like, and then see you. Bye bye.